Starting the stream. Did that already go through? That's a fucking fast alert. Whoa. Whoa. That's not something that normally happens on Discord. That normally takes years. I need to pull up the Mugboard stream to make sure everything's cool. Did that already go through? That's a... Okay, well, you can hear me twice now. Hello, Mugcord. It's Wolfie on the Mugcord channel live streaming. I'm not supposed to be here. This isn't my home. But I figured this was the better place to do it. Because I just kind of randomly decided, hey, I want to go watch those rap battle videos I made again for the 40th time. But I figure, you know, it's been like 2 years since I made that first one. Did you know that? Because I didn't. I sure didn't. I figured it'd be fun to do it on stream, see if anyone wants to stop by, hang out, and break it down, sort of explain my choices, explain the process that went into making these, because from what I remember, I remember a good chunk of my choices in these videos. And I've also watched these videos more times than probably anyone else. So I think I have a fairly good idea of it. Is my stream okay? It's like YouTube seems to be pixelating it a little bit. It's okay on my end as far as I can tell. I don't know. Streaming's weird. I didn't tell Mugcord I was doing this. I hope they're okay with it. Mostly Tegan. Tegan's normally the one that streams. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's okay with it. It's fine. Mugcord is Mugcord. There's no rules here. Anyway, hi chat. We're going to be reacting to and breaking down the ERB rap battle versus, or the non-ERB rap battle versus videos that are on this channel that you're currently on. I have made a few of them. If you've been here for a while, you might remember when the first one was posted. Hell, you might have subscribed to this channel because of one of these videos. In which case, hello, welcome. I appreciate you. We're going to sit tight for a little bit and just yap while I wait for YouTube to catch up to speed on everything that needs to catch up to speed on. But yeah, kind of like I did not plan this stream, mind you. I was sitting at my desk just like, what do I want to do tonight? I was going to do a reaction stream to Epic the Musical, actually, but I want friends to do that with, and none of my friends are alive at the moment. So we'll do that another day, I think. Probably not here, probably on my channel. Go subscribe to twitch.tv/AfterSockWolf. Thank you. But Mugcord is the home for this, so I'm streaming this on Mugcord. But yeah, I was just sitting here. I was sitting at my desk. I was about to straight up. Sometimes when I'm just like vibing by myself, I turn these videos on, and I was about to do that again. And I was like, actually, you know what? I was gonna do a reaction stream anyway tonight. This is better than nothing. I've wanted to do something like this for a while, actually. I thought about just doing a video of it, but I realized doing it live might be more fun, and I also didn't want to like bother other mugs with it because most of them do not care. In fact, I don't think any of them care. This is my niche and my niche alone, and I am happy to embrace that and yap about it with the people that enjoy it here on the Mugcord Uwu YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm using my VTuber model, not the Mugcord VTuber model. So apologies to Mugcord Chan. I actually don't know if she's still alive or not, but we're vibing here together instead. I think YouTube's somewhat okay at the moment. It's kind of hard to tell. It's very jumpy, but I'm just going to assume it's okay. I don't really know. I did a normal stream through OBS like I normally do, but I am aware that the Mugcord YouTube channel is a mess in terms of like connections and shit because of how many people are on it. So hopefully everything goes fine here. It's been a while since I used my actual model, by the way. I've been streaming more recently, but I've been streaming with my PNG YouTuber avatar because of the location as to which I've been streaming. So it's kind of nice to see my model again, I'll be honest. I should probably jump into... I don't need to jump into a VC. I was going to say I might jump into a VC if any mug just shows up, because I don't know how long the stream's going to be. The videos alone are about an hour and a half, a little under, for all of them. But I don't know how much I'll yap about them, which is the main concern here. I think YouTube has calmed it down, so we might be able to just jump into the first one. Let's turn off the Andrew Jeremy. And see if we can just switch over to the scene. There we go. Alright, so this first one was April 5th, 2023. It has been over 2 years since I uploaded this video. That's insane to me. That's crazy to me. It's been, in fact, almost another 2 months since I uploaded that video. Like 2 years and 2 months. So, wow. What quality is my streaming in? Is this 1080p? Okay, it looks like it. I don't think my model is 1080p, I'll be honest. That might be the issue. It's fine, it's fine. We stream, we vibe. Anyway, I think the goal is we're gonna watch through the videos, and I'm gonna pause to yap about some of the choices, some of the bars I like, all that kind of stuff. Basically why I chose them. And you know what they're doing here, the hits, some lore behind these videos. There's not much, I'll be honest. It's just me in my room compiling things I like. But this first video, it kind of blew up. From what I remember, it was insane because at the time Mugcord was like, I feel like when I uploaded this video, Mugcord had maybe 100, 200 subscribers. And seeing it now is insane. We're at nearly we're above 750, which is crazy. And I remember this video just climbing in views. It's definitely mellowed out now, which is honestly why I don't know how clicky this stream will be, because I'm not sure how many of you are still around from it. But it was a video I was pretty proud of. Obviously, it was mostly just a compilation of clips from songs I like. But it was more like I was proud to see it grow enough to connect to the audience that I was hoping it would reach. Because there's a certain side of YouTube where these things are big, and that there's a lot of people that definitely care about these sorts of videos, and I want to reach out to them specifically, and I'm glad it worked out, because I admit it's a bit worrisome. I guess it wouldn't have mattered too much if it ended up not going through exactly as I expected it to. It's not like I'd be heartbroken. It would have been more in line with the usual Mugcord route impact. But I'm glad to see its performance, honestly. It's also the only reason I made more, pretty much. Because people in the comment section of this one were really asking for more of them. I think I had a few of the creators actually comment on this one as well. I don't know if I can find them immediately. Yeah, Swizkey's on here. Sir Rap Battles is on here. I feel like there's another one. However, it might have been in the second video. No, Mr. J's on here. Saying Skeep Deal Sweep. But there's definitely a few. Which was pretty crazy to me, because I am just a big fan of these people. Like, look, Mugcord does not know who these people are. They see these comments and they think there's another person. I have been super into Freshie, Swizkey, Snakebite, all of them for years now. That's the whole reason I made these videos in the first place. So even if it's not my personal channel, and this is our group Mugcord community channel, it was still really cool to see comments from them, because like I didn't ever expect that. That's crazy to me. Before helping out on Mugcord YouTube, actually, I used to run a different compilation channel where I would put together clips and snippets from like Danganronpa reactions and such, and I barely ever did anyone from those videos actually show up in the comments. They were pretty big videos, but like the actual creators never popped by. So seeing it here on a video that's much smaller in size on a much smaller channel was so crazy to me. It was so cool too, for the record. Like, I couldn't exactly comprehend them showing up for a bit there. Nowadays, like, I get it. You know, your video is featured in another video praising it. Obviously, you'd be pretty proud of that. But also, when I made this project, I didn't expect it to go anywhere. I just put it together for fun. So it's like if you made a school like report on your Oshi, and then they somehow saw it. That's kind of how it felt, you know. But I'm yapping as usual, so we should probably start the video. Once again, I'm going to be pausing throughout, kind of explaining the bars I really like, explain why the verses are in these videos, some of the lore and such behind it. First of all, this video, the top 140 non-ERB rap battle verses, the first one in the trilogy here. This is the only one of them that I sorted, quote unquote. I basically put together a shitty tier list while listening to the verses, and I was sort of like, I put them in a numerical order that nowadays I don't know if I really agree with at all, actually. There's definitely some songs, like definitely some verses I prefer on this list, but I don't know, it's hard to rank things that I just genuinely enjoy. I will also say this is my least favorite of the trilogy. This was a lot of me choosing the more popular rap battles. Some of the first ones just came to my mind instead of really diving deep into the catalog that these channels had, and I regret that. It's why it's also another reason I made the other videos, because I wanted to explore more of what they had to offer. So this, not my favorite of the videos, definitely the most popular, and there is some really good verses in here. Obviously, I chose some of my favorites, ones that popped in my head immediately when making this. So I have some bias, but even then, I do think it's the weakest of the three, and I think most people who watched all three of them actually agree with that. So I'm glad I'm not the odd one out there. But let's press the play button.
It's about time you got the hook. And I would snappy, but I don't eat books. I'm Spielberg's first classic. You look like he scrapped your giraffe ass from the Jurassic. I'm a fraud crusher, leaving any kind of fish smother. Started blockbusters, well, he got ended by Mythbusters. Playing hide and seek all day in the lake you're confined to. Such a pussy unit gynecologist to find you. Hear the end of your tail means you're just a skeptic. See the end of my tail means you'll get a wreck chip. You can try to swim away, but you're too slow. Once I'm in Scotland, you'll want the land to be your new home.
So I think when I released this video, I don't know if this is true actually. I think this video is pretty new. That, or I just like, I came across it again and immediately latched onto it for reasons I couldn't really couldn't really tell you. But this verse, I've heard it probably more than any other verse in all of these videos, because it's the first one in the first video. So every time I am jumping into these just to look at something, or when I was editing the videos, obviously, this one would play every time pretty much. So I've definitely heard it the most, and it's grown on me. I will admit. Like, I think I put it number 40 when I first made this video. It's grown on me a lot more. I really love the performance here. I really wish in these videos I wrote down who performed the verse, like which voice actor or rapper did the verse for the character, because I would love to reference that because I don't know off the top of my head on all of them. But whoever did the Jaws verse kind of popped off. I love
it's about time you got the hook.
This
and I would snappy, but I don't eat books. I'm Spielberg's first classic. You look like he scrapped your giraffe ass from the Jurassic. I'm a fraud crusher, leaving any kind of fish smother. Started blockbusters, well, he got ended by Mythbusters. Playing hide and seek all day in the lake you're confined to. Such a pussy unit gynecologist to find you. Hear the end of
I do like that line. I will admit I do like that line. It's a good bar. It might be a little on the nose, a little vulgar, but I like it. I don't know. It's like there's a good presentation to it too.
Fish smother. Started blockbusters, well, he got ended by Mythbusters. Playing hide and seek all day in the lake you're confined to. Such a pussy unit gynecologist to find you. Hear the end of your
The video's great on that scene, for the record. But I don't know. I just really like the voice given here, I suppose. I should really move my model, because every time I like look over to the screen. I'm sort of looking down instead for some reason. So I should probably do that, and then chat will just be there.
Tail means you're just a skeptic. See the end of my tail means you'll get a wreck chip. You can try to swim away, but you're too slow. Once I'm in Scotland, you want the land to be your new home.
Okay. This is one of the ones where it's like, yeah, I don't know. When I first heard it, it was like, oh yeah, that's really good. Nowadays it's like, I like it. I like the verse. But it is very short. Hold on, I'll play it through.
Mannequins, you'll end up vanishing like a phallus secret. I'm rapping a dragon who's dragging his plot like a battle sequence. Any respect you once had went straight down the litter when your viewers saw you locking lips with your own half-sister.
So, like, I mean, the whole bar here is pretty, like, the whole burn is pretty much, your game takes too long, and also you kissed your sister. It's fine. I think I liked the presentation of Zinnia more than the actual line. The video is pretty funny in its own right, but it's definitely
straight down the litter when your viewers saw you locking lips with your own half.
It's definitely one of the weaker bars in these videos. I think Sir has much better battles throughout his videos here, and I probably should have chose a different one, but it's fine. It's okay. I can't. it's a fine verse that I liked at the time when making the video, and I still think is a pretty good verse. But I definitely don't think I'd include it here nowadays, especially with how many like new options there are and such. Obviously, this was 2 years ago, so a lot of the newer ones weren't out at the time or anything, and those are featured in the other battles instead. But even then, I think this spot could have been used for something else.
Diary.
Don't fooling crowd out. Edit with a thread. No, Shiro, stay back. No worries, Danta. Shiro knows he won't survive her rap attack. Shiro will spit fiery rap like Podata chips. You blown. Shiro will do a pun, you man annoying like how they fix the crowd.
The gloves are off. Ace Man is here, and he's setting loose on those with rhymes so systematic. I won't hold back, Mother Goose. Stick to wallowing in self-pity, or I'll knock you to a new world. I'm here.
Alright, so this is the first verse in one of these videos where I wasn't super sure about the formatting of it. So obviously it's Shiro verse 1 versus Yukiteru. Now, two things. This is in the middle of the battle between Gonta and Yukiteru, so it's more like Gonta's second verse, I think, but it's Shiro performing it. So instead of doing Gonta verse 2 and then putting Shiro on the screen, it made more sense for me to put Shiro verse 1, because as we move through the battles, there are guest appearances and more stuff like that. So it made more sense to just make the character a separate entry in the battle. Secondly, this is Shiro dissing Yukiteru. It does shift immediately into Yuno Gasai afterwards, so it's a little weird. I thought about putting Shiro versus Yuki and Yuno, but Yuno wasn't in the battle at this point. She was just dissing Yukiteru specifically with a few jabs at Yuno because she is relevant to Yukiteru's story. So I think Shiro versus Yukiteru made sense. I think this is the best way I could have put it, but that's sort of there was definitely some conflict in my mind about how to present these sorts of situations.
Luigi, look, a demon hooker. I heard he overdosed on lethal sugar. It'll be easy to make the crowd turn. There's fire in my lines like it's from Bowser. Pinch back at a brat like I'm Wendy-O. Because it ain't just heaven that condemns your soul. You can only offend me when hell gets cold. Because when I'm in the stew, you bet you'll toast. And I'll toast.
And then listen to this straight.
Look, a demon hooker. I heard he overdosed on lethal sugar. It'll be easy to make the crowd turn. There's fire in my lines like it's from Bowser. Pinch back at a brat like I'm Wendy. Just heaven that condemns your soul. You can only offend me when hell gets cold. Because when I'm in the stew, you'll toast. And I'll toast.
And then my audio is a little quiet actually. Hold on. Let me turn down the desktop audio a little bit, and that might help. I don't know if my voice is coming through exactly, but
Does bring more power than your shoulders. Going down not just on a pole, break your arms at the shoulders. Oh, and if you don't know already, nobody wants a taste of your Nazi spaghetti.
so this battle, this has been the toughest Hotel Mario battle, came out like basically the start of like the start no, basically I mean the start of this process, right? It came out like the day or two before I started making this video, so it was definitely a recency bias here. That said, I love this verse. This is perhaps the verse that is commented on more than any by like people that I more or less forced to watch this video as a like test run, I guess. People who didn't watch these rap battles and such, so they really liked this verse specifically of Hotel Mario versus Hazbin Hotel. Again, Hotel Mario versus Hazbin Hotel was a debatable line here because there was a part of me where it's like, okay, it's Hotel Mario, it's Mario and Luigi from Hotel Mario, but it's basically just it's like it's basically only Angel Dust on the Hazbin Hotel side. So it was like, do I put Hotel Mario versus Hazbin Hotel? Do I put Hotel Mario versus Angel Dust? Do I put Mario and Luigi versus Angel Dust? At some point I just settled on the name of the battle, so that when you're looking it up, if you wanted to go watch the full thing after watching this video, you could just look up Hotel Mario versus Hazbin Hotel. It made a lot more sense, but even now I look at this one and I'm like, I feel like I should have just put Angel Dust, because it's a very like OCD thing to worry about in the first place, like the title of the prompts here. But I don't know, it's something that catches my attention whenever I'm watching this video.
You've been gone since like the 50s, so watch your step. Once you run and Johnny, you fall to another deb. This chatter strippers don't make her a better rapper. The track's better battle matter for a matter hatter. No one could ever saw the edgy remix in your feature. It's like you went from Alice in Wonderland to Alice Cooper. Splattered, I don't need to paint lines that make you suffer. 8 bars to close the shutter on another other mother.
I really like that verse. However, I am willing to admit that the entire reason this verse is in this video is because of this flow here. I am fully willing to admit that I think when making this video it was very just like which ones bring the most hype, which verses kind of stand out the most in these, and that delivery is just it's so tight, it's so good. It's
like you went from Alice in Wonderland to Alice Cooper. Splattered, I don't need to paint lines that make you suffer. 8 bars to close the shutter on another other.
The rest of the bars are pretty good too, for the record, but it is definitely that specific segment that really locked it in for me. But yeah. Okay, this verse haunts my dreams. Like actually, every day I hear this in my head. There's a few verses in these videos that play on my head and repeat, or specific like bars from the verses. There's one bar in this verse here that I probably say to myself like at least once a day. Nothing prompts it. Sometimes there'll be like a trigger word where I hear something and I just start referencing it, but it just pops up. I don't know what to tell you. This was also the first Danganronpa verse in one of these. I had a few people comment on the fact that there's a lot of Danganronpa and a lot of DDLC in these videos. Not my fault, for the record. I am a very big Danganronpa fan and a very big Doki Doki fan, and I tried to put my biases aside for that. I didn't want to make like all the Danganronpa characters have the best verses in their videos, even if they actually didn't, because I was trying to be completely fair. I don't know if I think this video I was definitely leaning more towards biased, like a bit unfair towards some of the verses. I'll be honest. Some will come up and I'll comment on that. But like for the most part, there was just a lot of Danganronpa and Doki Doki rap battles out there for some reason. Just in general, if you look at the fanon like nerdcore ERB scene, there's a lot of them. I couldn't tell you why.
At this resident, a man with more in his closet than just his mother's skeleton. I see humanity and beauty work wonderfully in tandem, but I'd find it hard to call your creeper smile hat.
There's just a lot of Danganronpa and Doki Doki rap battles out there for some reason. Just in general, if you... sorry, I'm making sure your voice coming through okay. And checking audio on the song.
A man with more in his closet than just his mother's skeleton. I see humanity and beauty work wonderfully in tandem, but I'd find it hard.
Okay, I think it should be okay.
And some killed a wife and cough, and you were quickly caught. Gaslit yourself, convinced it's your mom. Considering the dumpster fire that was your business, I've seen kinder hotels out of Vivzy Paw. The woman of your dreams was just within reach. Blood's on your hands as you sulk in misery.
If it's complex, I find it very simple. Just another wish is some is simply sin free. It's that bar. That like I think it's just a 2. But that length is pretty much in my head on repeat constantly. I couldn't tell you why. There's such good flow here.
I see it's very simple. Your jealous mother wished your son was simply sin-free.
It's such a catchy little part of the song. It definitely hooked me. Like it hooked onto me like crazy. Like it's I don't know. It's very funny considering it's referencing a movie like this where that's pretty much the entire plot. You know, psychoanalysis and pretty much getting in people's heads. So you did it, Korekio. You did it, but.
This is by my side if I ever need support. Your arguments should be solved with a Ouija board. Be scared if you ever put on the dress and wig, since this pussy fits perfect as my 100th victim.
Good line if you're a Danganronpa nerd. I will say, this video will probably have a lot of Danganronpa spoilers. I will try to not comment on them as much as I can to not spoil the game. There is in the second video there's a full bar like 2 verses in that just spoils Chainsaw Man. I might have to skip that one. We'll see. We'll see.
Were those your best? Did somebody say a real vampire? The classics never die. Up in my castle, levels high. While a dupe of me faced a lucha libre. Bickering, squabbling, peasant-like. No authenticity, counterfeit hackers. Faith in your sources and now what you lack. But I'll give you your flowers on vampiric prowess. Sucked all the life from out of this track. Water got single cleaning your batshit ways. You cannot get the staff these days. You say you're a hellish fella, but you're not from the depths of the nether just cause you get kept in the cellar. Look at this gaudy fashion of decorum of class and atrocious view. It's like you ran through a pawn shop soaked in glue. Why would anyone be approaching you? The Bane of Transylvania, the true bloodline veins inside. So I'll take this title kindly. Got a problem? You can bite me.
Just good verse. Someone on this video commented under it and mentioned that of the Rustage verses in this video, most of them are Connor. And yeah, I think Connor Quest just does crazy on his verses and these things. So fair enough, I think I was fair for saying that. But this one's not an exception. This is also the first battle that has multiple combatants at once. So it's the first one where it's Dracula versus and then a string of characters. This gets very out of hand later on. I don't think it's super bad in this video specifically, but this gets very out of hand later on. And I didn't fix it because I thought it was funnier that way. This verse. Burn, motherfucker! Burn, motherfucker! Burn, motherfucker! Burn, motherfucker! My apologies.
Let's make sure that your life gets grand. Can't win on all fours when you got no win. Oh, lasagna's your favorite main course. Mine is your motherfucking
Hello Kitty girls, what can I say? This verse was probably the most concerning one to the people that watch this video, maybe? Definitely brought the most comments with it. I'll tell you what. I threw this one in as more like a gag rather than an actual verse, but the more I listen to it, the more I just kind of vibe with it. It's definitely making fun of the Hello Kitty girl idea and sort of meme out there, and I think it does it pretty well actually. It's actually performed pretty decently. Like the voice is good. I do like I do like the threats. They're creative. Can't land on all fours if you got no limbs. Put your fucking asses in, motherfucker. It's fun. It's a very fun verse. It doesn't super fit here, I admit, but it's a rap battle verse, and I enjoyed it, so it's going in the video. That was basically my thought process, right?
Streaming's supposed to be entertaining, but I don't
Classic.
think we can call you a gamer when most of your content is you in a chair laughing at funnier people on your computer. So I guess
This rap battle aged so well. This rap battle aged so well.
is what we stream, but I didn't want to piggyback
Off a dream and roleplay with the younger friends of friends, cause I am the Minecraft YouTuber. Unfortunately, not. I should not say unfortunately there. I should not say unfortunately. Fortunately, Wilbur did not do that. However, he was still canceled at some point for something. So I think this aged incredibly well.
Remnants of Minecraft roleplay should stay in hide and seek so no one gets a glimpse of this egocentric mess, forcing an eye into SMP. Guess you are a simp. I may ask to be carried when
That
I
verse,
get
that bar,
sleepy,
that
but you
bar
getting
went
hard carried
crazy.
in an MCC. The real MC's me. Your victory was just another thing never meant to be.
I fucking okay. This is very like Dream SMP reference coded. To be fair, you had to be super into Minecraft YouTube at this point to really understand some of these verses on here. And I was a super Minecraft YouTube head at this point in time. Basically, I mean, I've always been more or less, but I was super into Dream SMP, all the MCC. I basically only stopped watching Minecraft YouTube in the like more general popular aspects, like the Dream SMP people and like the Q SMP and all the other SMPs that came after it, Empire. Because of Techno's death. Basically, after he passed, I stopped watching it entirely. Not at the fault of anyone else. It was just Techno was pretty much my gateway into it. So when he died, the gate shut, more or less. But I'm still super into watching Minecraft content. I still love the game. I still love watching people play it. But yeah, you had to be super into it to understand some of these references. Maybe not super into it, but the way it's added into these verses is really good. I love how they incorporated some references here, and of course Chalky just performance is fantastic. No, it's not on there. I was gonna try to shout out the singer, but I do not know it off the top of my head. I apologize. However, it's a really good verse. Unfortunately, it did age very well. But I think it's one of the most iconic verses in a rap battle and like these fan-made rap battles, along with another Danganronpa versus Minecraft YouTube one that's coming on later on. But I think it's a great one. This fucking verse. I know this shit bar for bar, word for word. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I can prove this shit. Hold on.
Never meant to be.
The baked, her eyes in the wake, since the cold makes no hurry. Comforting the size of your chest is about to take up face. Remember back your papa if you think you're beating me. You're one the fans' hearts when I go. Iconic. This verse, I think before anything else in the rap battle scene of like nerdcore fan and YouTube, this verse I think made waves in a very specific community of the internet, because it had something to do with Doki Doki, which is like, it came out in its prime. This was like very early Doki Doki fan and hype, And Love Live was not quite as big in the West, I don't think. It's not super big out here in the first place, but Nico is big. Everyone knows Nico Yazawa. So when you brought Nico and Natsuki from the biggest game on the platform at the moment together, it was bound to blow up, right? And the presentation and like delivery in this whole rap battle is incredible. I love almost every bar in this thing, every verse in this thing, in fact. And I probably should have included more. I don't know why I didn't, really. Natsuki's final verse is incredible as well. I think Nico's verse here just etches itself in my mind so deeply that I could not overlook it. It is the thumbnail for this video for a reason. It's probably one of the most iconic rap battles on this, like, on the platform for this side of rap battle anyway.
That's supposed to be.
Watching over this whole galaxy, I see that your win's
This is a
improbable.
very
When
long
we're both
one.
getting into Smash Bros, you take it in the worst way possible. I'd
Inside
say
joke.
your special one should have retracted his lightsaber, knowing Ben broke the heart of this mother worse than Vader. You're talking perfection when the girl you put your faith in is just publicly deemed as a Mary Sue. I'm the Death Star to your Alderaan, blasting off like a launch star, and then I'm through with wrecking you. If you're in my ice world, I'll leave you quite frozen like Cal Rissy once did to your husband. You gave us a special that's grading my eye worse than every appearance of that drunken Gungan. Disasters do happen in this universe. I sense a disturbance in what I observe, the return of the franchise that's losing its worth.
My ears are still even worth your time.
My dear, you do make a good point true, but as a cosmic guide, you want to rap good, I'll show you. Don't talk about family when your morals are crooked, cause Luke wants to get a taste of the buns of your cookie, and your beauty is a trait that any person would admire, but you still can be hotter than your father in a fire. The double cherry bars, cause they have twice the flavor, twice the pain for your mother during labor. Tell your story, son, no one ever misses you, had to suffer 3 losses, may the 4th be with you. First off,
I think it's a fine verse. I'm actually not that into it anymore. I think it's probably the length. I admit it is a very long verse. She sort of stops halfway and then continues on when it feels like it should be switching over to Leia. I'm also not super into Star Wars, so I do use context clues more or less to understand this verse, which is probably unfair to start to like Leia in general. I basically, while making this video, only watched videos where I was familiar with the source material so that I could accurately judge the bars and the disses and all that kind of stuff. And I watched this one because I was like, I've seen the original trilogy of Star Wars. I've watched Rogue One. I know Star Wars, but it was probably unfair to Leia in this regard. I do think Rosalina does have a great flow. I think some of her bars are still really good. It's a lot of like, you know, incest and just like you make bad choices and you know, no one actually likes you. But I don't know, I still like it. I just don't think I'd still put it in this video nowadays. I don't know what I'd replace it with exactly, but it's probably something.
Or whatever. But just like your BF, those bars didn't do anything. This is the one battle where your cat won't do the carrying. Sabrina, the teenage bimbo, is in need of a tutor. It's been 20 years, Grandma, learn to use a computer. With this is flatter than your remake, it's not really tough to see that this klutz ain't even a diamond in the rough. I'd say transform into a good rapper, but that take too long. So run along back to the sidelines where you rightfully belong. The only pink back.
So this was like, I think the first one on this video where I had not listened to it at all ever before making the video and like going through the catalog to find a good one, because it's anime rap battles, which is not a channel I was super familiar with. There was one rap battle that I think shows up later in this video that I discovered them from years ago, and then I didn't really tune into most of their other stuff. But this one was great. I also love the like presentation on the video of like the manga panels and such.
Do anything. This is the one battle where your cat won't do the carrying. Sabrina, the teenage bimbo, is in need of a tutor. It's been 20 years, Grandma, learn to use a computer. With this is flatter than your remake, it's not really tough to see that this klutz ain't even a diamond in the rough. I'd say transform into a good rapper, but that take too long. So run along back to the sidelines where you rightfully belong.
A lot of this verse is just her calling Usagi stupid, which I guess is fair. It is certainly a route to go. The flow is incredible. I love Monika's voice here, and like just the presentation of it all. I think her bars hit really well, you know, like just jabbing. But it is lower on the list for a reason. I don't think it's like super killer or anything. They're just really good bars with a really good flow that do the job they need to do.
Only pink magic. That's the hardest you get? I guess that is why you don't have the super. Did you have your cipher shared out by an ultimate blooper? I'm not as bad at phrasing as you're making me seem. Let's agree you shouldn't talk about it. Hey, Luigi? Homie, you can pull me for no fee. Then I'll chop your sausage into pepperoni like you severed off your contact with Sony. Your old meme needs some ghost cologne. Your odor is potent. Spit fire. Remember, where there's a smoking opponent. You ain't funny. You're sad like any lost soul. Nintendo closed the door on your whole damn console. I mean, shit. If you want to be off that badly, then forget Mama Luigi and call me Daddy.
I kind of regret putting this verse in this video, not because I don't like it. I actually really like this verse. There's a reason I put it above the original Hasbin verse, or the original Hasbin versus Hotel Mario verse. I'm still not sure if I still like this verse more or the Hotel Mario one. They've definitely gotten closer in my mind. But the reason I kind of regret putting this one on the list or putting the Hotel Mario one on the list is because it kind of opened the floodgates for me to put multiple verses from the same video on here, and nowadays I don't think I would have done that. I think I would have tried one verse per rap battle, but you can't really do much about it now, and there are some rap battles with just incredibly good verses throughout, so I guess it was bound to happen, but I would have rather put the verses that weren't used in the next video rather than putting them both in here. You know how it is.
Instructions.
Hi guys, pyrocynical here.
Classic.
I like fires, raps is in your career. You could have put them out with other things bathwater. Operating in this legend shadow like an ad sponsor. You had your fans slipping over your eyes, but we knew your disguise cause you're hoping that nobody finds out. You're not only 5 foot, you're also rapping alright. Not closer than 9 if my tires find a plastic surgeon on fiver to design your face that you don't have to hide. And on the bright side, that mask means that you're well equipped, cause it's Taylor spits more than Alex saying George your sex was shit. Before I hand you the mic first, I'll hand you the L like I just shipped you your shite merch. You peak playing games at a childhood club. Penguin was
I don't know why my model's like constantly. Maybe my eyes are just closed a lot. So this Power Single verse, I'll be honest, I don't know if Memulus is still around. I don't know if Memulus is still like a current YouTuber people care about. I haven't seen his content in forever. But Pyrocynical is doing well for himself, and I think there was all this drama with him. I think after this video got posted, I'm not entirely sure about that actually. Flow of time is weird, but he's kind of picked himself back up. He's still around. He's doing good. Meanwhile, I haven't seen Memulus on my homepage in years, and I'm pretty sure Alex got canceled. I could just be lying about that. I could be making that up, but I'm pretty sure it happened. So I think I chose a good verse here. Pyro's flow was just really fucking good. There was like at least 1 or 2 comments saying that they were happy to see this one here, and yeah, I love this verse.
That mask means that you're well equipped, cause it's Taylor spits more than Alex. You're not only 5 foot, you're also rapping alright.
It's a great flow.
Surgeon on fiver to design your face that you don't have to hide. And on the bright side, that mask means that you're well equipped, cause it's Taylor spits more than Alex saying George your sex was shit. Before I hand you the mic first, I'll hand you the L like I just shipped.
Freshie was also making incredible videos at this point.
You peak playing games at a childhood club. Penguin wasn't just a tip of the iceberg.
Like the I think obviously he's only gotten better, but Freshie's like actual editing and, you know, animation and such in his videos is incredible. I think they all are, for the record. All these channels do an incredible job. I think Freshie just has the most like budget and connections and such because he is the biggest of the channels, other than like, you know, Rustage and I think is VTRB in this? I don't think he is. I think all Cam's verses are in the next video. But like of the just standard rap battle nerdcore scene who focuses solely on that sort of content, Freshie's the biggest one. So it's fair, but I think all these channels do really good with their animations for what they can do.
For one, mine probably know what an octagon is. It may be true that we both entertain a lot of kids, but unlike you, they're actually my target audience. So I don't need to drop hints on your games with the pop, because everyone that's watching already knows they're dog shit. When educating toddlers, you gotta make it obvious. No wonder all your games end with the same fucking plot twist. here is preying on the youth in schools. And you might get to teach a class or two, but I got millions watching after school. I'm killing the beat, now it's black and blue. I'm killing the beat, now I'm black and blue.
You're so smart, detective. Why did Monica invite a goth to
So I was really worried that this verse would make people think I just hated Danganronpa, because it's probably the most just dissing the source property of any of these, baby. There's a lot of dissing like the character and such, but Blue kind of just goes off on Danganronpa as a franchise in this verse, and I want to reiterate that I love Danganronpa. However, by loving Danganronpa, I can also understand its qualms and its slightly strange story decisions. So the fact that like Blue calling it out on the bullshit that it has sometimes is completely fair, and I loved that he did it. I think Eddie has a lot of fun with this one. I think Eddie is a Danganronpa fan on his own right. So I don't think there's any like actual harm here. It's just like it's a very good verse, sort of breaking down the very specifics of the strangities in Danganronpa.
smart, detective? Why did Monica invite a goth to our club meeting? I heard from the Justice League that you were just leaving. How can you be so dense? I got a gut feeling you should probably start with The Room if you love reading. I like manga, but your comics are gobbled mess. Both you and your plot need to stop playing hard to get. Don't put on airs, you're not great just cause you're half a go. With your crappy show, we've seen how badly doing that can go. In every episode, you leave the hearts of people toyed with. That's why it took you 30 years to get a beast boyfriend. You're locking up your dumb ass so you don't start a bloodbath. Instead of floating, maybe you should touch grass. I should have really assumed that you would be leaving your room. Honestly, even Amy wouldn't like this creepy recluse. We know that eagles can fly off like your horrified mom, and Raven can try, but her social life's gone. When you
This is another video where there is a second verse from Raven in this video. When I was making this, I was super into this rap battle. I still really like it, for the record. I also still agree that Natsuki's verse is weaker than Raven's, which is coming up later. However, I will say, I'm turning on auto blink because maybe that will help in terms of keeping my eyes shut. Because right now my eyes are just kind of shut the whole time. That should be slightly better though. There we go. I really like this battle still. I think Natsuki and Raven both put together a great performance. Obviously, the people behind it specifically. But there's some great disses here from Natsuki. It is a lot of just... I think this verse specifically from Natsuki is a lot of just yelling at the other person. There's a lot of good Natsuki rap battles that are... Take a shot every time Natsuki appears in these videos, because something about it, she pops off. Take a shot every time Doki Doki appears in these videos. You will die, probably. But... This is definitely more like, it's still really well written. I love the bars here. But like this flow here. A lot of this verse is just dissing Raven for being a shut-in or being, you know, emo and such, which is, I think it's okay to latch on to a specific piece of the character you're dissing to then break it down piece by piece to a very, very basic degree. And she does this here. She does it well. I just don't think it's done as well as it could have been, and it's not done as well as some of the other verses on here, which is why it's so low. But I really love the flow here. I think Natsuki goes off, and it's fantastic. I am going to pause here for a second. I need to run to an idol meeting. It's gonna be just a moment, and we can continue. Alright, hello.
I know when you ride on.
Yeah, I like the Zatsuki verse. It's a good one. It's a good one.
The whole net thirst for this webtoon from Cassette Girl.
Lo-Fi Girl kind of popped off in this video. I'll be honest. She's only here twice, and both of her verses are incredible. This one should have been higher. I think it's a great verse. Her next verse is very high on this list, in fact. But
To Cassette Goon in the long run, as an
there's a
art
crazy
form,
rhyme
looks like
scheme here.
soft on, turned you softcore. Granted, Phantom Arcade gave you a glow up, but not even FNF could get this android to blow up. And now the only thing that your artist is known for is that ironic Anchor Electronics just keeps holding him back. So now I'll put this to bed. You
Set up, hello, fight, lo-fi, still making the bread, got that lo-fi, namesake, game, and when. No, you lock me, cause I just played cassette. That final, like, stretch of bars is incredible. Starting basically from...
artist is known for is that ironic Anchor Electronics just keeps holding him back. So
Basically starting from here, the rest of this verse is some of the best written bars I've seen in any of these videos, actually. This should have been higher. I don't know what I was thinking when putting it. I don't think I recognized it at that point. And then people in the comments kept pointing it out, and I was like, no, you're right, actually, that's genius.
I'll put this to bed.
There's
You cassette,
so many layers to this
lo-fi,
verse.
lo-fi, still making the bread, got that lo-fi. Like your namesake, your days came and went. So call me a Walkman, cause I just played cassette.
The songs you spew talk so much about chest, you should get suspended. And listen to snap like Natsuki's neck did. You put your feelings in a bottle, then you broke it this year. I thought you won, but it wasn't in the coding. Your fate was predetermined. If your third eye couldn't tell, Monica didn't let you tie the knot, so you did it around yourself.
I love the laughing at the end of that verse, by the way. Basically, the entire reason this one's in the video is because I love how fucking intense it is, and just sort of like it's just raw anger from Sayaka, which is very in character for her after she snaps and such. But it's like it's a very short verse, first of all. But it packs a punch. It really does. Nowadays, I'd probably put it a little lower, but I think it deserves to be in this video.
Then you broke it this year. I thought you won, but it wasn't in the coding. Your fate was predetermined. If your third eye
This final bar is insane. This is insane.
Around yourself.
How did he write this? Yeah. So this one right here, this verse in general, this whole rap battle, but this verse in general is maybe one of the most iconic rap battles verses of all time. Just in general, I've seen this clip posted so many times. It's insane. Like every corner I turn, people post this and they learn who Freshie Canal is, and they're like, they did the fucking Oogie Boogie versus King Dice one. They did the Mr. Beast versus Squid Games one. Like, yeah, Freshie's cracked. All right, what else do you want? This verse is like crazy popular, I think.
Matter of time for the net treats you like.
Tommy and Wilbur, it's banishment time. Again, Dream SMP references.
But you still lack a clean record contracts. You're not the blackened, so what's your excuse for the N-word?
That bar, the good thing you're not the blackened, so it's your excuse for the N-word. That's the one that really blew this up, I think. People reference it all the time. There's also the cheating bar. Hold on.
Comes up, you don't respond and let it be. All you can speed run from is your responsibility. Luck's an awful talent, but you don't even share it. Your gaming's worst cheater on the scenes is Pro Jared.
Crazy bar. Your gaming's worst cheater on the scene since Pro Jared. I think this is actually one of the best written battles. One of the best written verses like that this community has ever given us. It's a little cringy, I'll give you that, but I think it's aged so incredibly well that it's hard to hate on it at this point. There's a part of me that's like, yeah, okay, I get it. It's a little cringe, it's a little out there, but it's really good. It's really good. I see this one all the time. I quote it all the time.
So here's my statement, how fitting that dreams your name as you're to be quickly forgotten once your crowd of teens awaken. Your hopes for world renown and loving fans got to see the day, but oh, y'all know the dark path
your dream was taken. The whole verse kind of goes crazy. There's so many layers here and references to Dream's career that even at the time of posting this were far less substantial than they are now. This the way that this rap battle has grown in the past couple of years and how much it has like aged is so good. It's not quite as good as like the Chiaki versus Wilbur one, because Wilbur did just get outed as being a weird person. His Dream just cheated in Minecraft, but it's kind of insane how iconic this verse is online, because it's from a Danganronpa versus Minecraft YouTuber rap battle made by a fan and creator. Like you have to understand how insane that is, right? Anytime one of these things blows up. But I think I definitely understand where this one comes from.
Yeah. You think me influencing
Linking
little
up.
kids is screwed up your movies?
Once again, take a shot every time Danganronpa appears in this video.
Have been bombing harder than the kids you blew up.
12 whole years of studying and you still fucked up your life plan? The ultimate homewrecker couldn't fly as high as
Tight, man. This the bar coming up is basically the entire reason I put this one in the video, because I love the flow as she switches between her personalities. I will say, incredibly difficult for me to put this in the video in the first place, because I love Harley Quinn, but she gets beaten to a pulp in this video. Alright, she gets destroyed in this battle by Juko. I wanted to put a Harley verse in here, but there just wasn't anything close to as good as this verse from Juko.
Once that I've had it, I'll leave you battered black and blue and woozy with your mallet. This loosey-goosey floozy's feeling softer than her palate. You thought you could fix a man who was selfish and conniving.
But now you're busy itching, rubbing up on poison ivy.
You could have been original, then bigwigs made you cheesy. And these days you've been decreased to the Deadpool of DC. The only thing new in each reboot is how you look. There's no hope. How about I write you a new book?
Do I get to see? I don't. So, I really wish I put the vocalist or the performer in these title cards here, because I would love to like shout them out in this review here. But whoever did Junko in this video did an incredible job. That's basically 100%. I cannot say anything more about it. The flow on that segment where she is constantly switching personalities is insane. It's just an incredibly good like nudge towards Harley Quinn and her story and the things she's done, being like, you think I'm insane? Have you seen your movies? I adore this verse. It's definitely not as strong like diss-wise or anything. It is a lot of just, you're fucked up, so am I, but like, come on now, you're far more insane than I am. I'm just doing this for fun. Which kind of doesn't work, because Juko also does her shit for fun. But the flow, the presentation is incredible, and I think it boosted it up to such a high degree for me.
Notice how you look. There's no hope. How about I write you a new book?
Before the gentleman of crime begins,
Dan Bull, I go.
Prick a chance to hide inside a fridge. I do what's required to win. This awfully hot cardboard pot is for a lot of dumb fellas. Let me demonstrate how to properly open a verse. An umbrella, here's how we make things welfare. Strip you of possessions and put you on welfare. Stop reducing the funding for healthcare and make cuts to your big bird bed hair. Is this matchup meant to offend me? You put this criminal menace with cynical mayor, the villain they credit with millions of deaths impending. Against the penguin, not even I would buy your lies. So here's some advice that you might prefer. Next time you put the nation second, put an R-E-S-I-N-G first. He didn't climb or work, there's not a dime in his life that he earned. I was inspired by the flightless bird and a pack of cigs in the sits I've smoked, all who defy my word. Flightless? No, that ain't quite right, cause I'm so fly from the tux to the bow tie. Hold typo joker, I know clans even better than I know cold eyes. Flows tight and I'm bloody controlling the minds. Puppet can hold up a spine, let alone fight me. Cobble pot is stopping your pompous elitist party. Have them all chatting. Next line, please.
I think one of the most like important parts of this verse that you have to take into account is how well it characterizes the penguin. Like I think there's a lot of people who like would probably compare the Penguin more to this sort of political menace. When that's not his character. He is like this verse does a great job at characterizing who the Penguin is, and I could not give you the best like detail of that because I'm not a super big DC fan, but I have watched enough of it to be like, this makes a lot more sense to me than if they were just fully comparing the Penguin to someone like Boris Johnson. I obviously Dan Bull's flow goes incredibly hard. It's fucking Dan Bull. Come on now. Again, there's a part in this song where I quote it to myself constantly.
Is this matchup meant to offend me? You put this criminal menace with cynical mayor, the villain they credit with millions of deaths impending.
A great characterization there.
So here's some advice that you might prefer.
Next time you put the nation second, but no, yes, I am the first. That part I quote to myself all the time. I just like hum it to myself. It's such a little catchy flow of syllables, I guess. It like I don't know. It's a great bar, first of all. You know, like next time you put the nation second, resign. But it's just presented so well. It's such a good listen. It's like it makes my ears feel nice.
Crime or work, there's not a dime in his life that he earned. I was inspired by the flightless bird and a pack of cigs, and the since I've smoked all who defy my word. Flightless, no, that ain't quite right, cause I'm so fly from the tux to the bow tie. Hold tight, po joker, I know clans even better than I know cold eyes. Flows tight and I'm bloody controlling the minds. Puppet can hold up a spine, let alone fight me. Cobble pot is stopping your poppers elitist party. Have them all chatting. Next line, please.
It's a really good just presentation of the character, and the bars that he spits against Boris are insane. Really great flow. I love the beat on this one. Obviously Dan Bull's vocals go crazy. Dan Bull has been in this game for longer than I have known about this game, all right? But I think the fact that it like characterizes the Penguin so well and puts him up against this actual, you know, mad sort of very spiteful person who many people falsely compare to the Penguin, does this such a good service because he can kind of just go off, right? Lots of really good catchy bars here. Again, like the resignation bar is stuck in my head constantly, but just an incredible verse all around here.
Don't bring those. No. Don't do it with Anubis. These puny endeavors are fruitless. The humans may foolishly count me as ruthless and truthless when I see
budget going insane again.
To excuse it. Selling the ring, I can see what you're doing. Deep down you're scared that your heart will abuse it. Let's clear the confusion like statues in the room of Tootin'. I leave you in ruins. I read hieroglyphs, but I still can't decipher how you draw with the embalmer you got wrapped up by a spider. Depended on your friendships ever since you left the Shire. Yeah, he bails you out of fights, but with Sam, you're none the wiser. Look, not the type of dude to say off with his head. Feed him to the dog with the crock for a head. Look, even Sauron watches with dread, scared of the terror that the coffin begets, and your followers left. Cynopolis still kneels down to me since the dawn of my myth spawn. Tie my name to the grave because they know that the god of the dead still lives on. Yeah.
I am totally biased against one. First of all, I love mythology, all kinds of mythology, whether it's Greek, Egyptian, whatever. So my love for Anubis stems from that. Also, he is a dog deity and, you know, wolf branding. But I am also not very big into Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or anything, and these bars still do crazy work for me. Like, even with secondhand knowledge of the series, I think he is just breaking down Frodo as a character the entire time so cleanly. There's very little room for Frodo to sort of fight back against this, because it's like, what's a good comparison? I can't immediately think of one, but it's basically breaking down someone's character entirely, taking their story, taking every piece, and sort of breaking apart the puzzle to its most basic, to the very basics. To be like, you have to realize that you are the one in the wrong. You don't want the ring. You're trying to sell off the ring because you're a bad person. You're a horrible friend. Why are the others even here with you? Do they know what kind of person you are? Like, you fucked up your own journey. You like it's such a good flow while staying consistently very brutal in its lines. And I love this verse to a T. The only reason it's not higher is because I don't fully get all the references. If I was more into the Lord of the Rings Hobbit story, I would probably get more of it and boost it higher, or maybe even lower. I couldn't tell you. But I really love the presentation of this verse. It does a great job at just tearing down the other person.
Say off with his head, feed him to the dog.
Yeah, that's what rap battle's all about.
Look, even Sauron watches with dread, scared of the terror that the coffin begets, and your followers left. Sinopolis still kneels down to me since the dawn of my myth spawn. Tie my name to the grave, cause they know that the god of the dead still lives on. Yeah.
Spend years studying the classics.
This verse, I admit this when I say there were biased picks in this video, this is one of them, because when I made this, I liked I liked Stranger Things, and that was basically everything that determined I want to put 11 in this video, rather than being like, I'm gonna listen to this rap battle and put my favorite one in the video. I was like, I'm putting 11 in this video and you can't stop me. And I regret it because I like this verse, I do, but Matilda's verse is so clearly better, and I don't know why I didn't put that one in this video and put this one instead. Matilda's verse is in one of these videos eventually, it's fine, but God.
So why is it you still fail in practice? You trap set like you're stuck in Home Alone scenes. Your rap sounds like you wrote them in the chokey. I'm out beating up, bring to save your breath for now. Or do I need Christmas lights to spell it out? You were big back in 1996 and skedaddled, and I'm the reason why they clanked on this battle. Hide yourself cause you could never stop my town. You look up to me like you're stuck in the upside down.
There's some good bars here, it's a good flow. I love this like fast presentation.
Brain couldn't fight the hyper psychic. You'd wish for a mind like I got, so why don't you fly off high, kid? Add this to my list of mic drop.
This is a good bar. It doesn't like hurt Matilda exactly. It's just a good reference to Stranger Things, and I think it works as a bar here. But definitely weaker of the weaker one of the two. I don't know why I chose this one, to be completely honest. It was purely Clouded Judgment.
Instead of using those hands on me, why not lend Tango?
Once again, Connor Quest.
Dependent on metal in your hands like a chocolate kettle done. Bring Reapers through, we got the meanest crew. Big rounds to your chest or a he-made cleavage. My team
Crazy line. Crazy line.
rounds to your chest or a he-made cleavage.
Crazy line.
If my team was with you, I'd turn to the demons. Yeah, you got flashy visual, sure. G still like an interesting story. Same shit, different season, just rehashing what
This
we've
flow
all
is
seen.
so smooth. I fucking love this. Why they call me Strawberry.
I'm beating armies, swerving Eisen's actions. You hear no calm me dance off versus Michael Jackson, like you ain't even tried to catch it. Moves walking over you twice like a mild distraction. It's Grim Joe House of a dog on you when they in hot pursuit. Shame Makaza didn't follow through, cause looks like Rengoku's a hollow too.
It's such a good, like, smooth flow. Connor's voice does wonders here, alright? But there's a lot of good, just like, this is against Tanjiro, basically being like, you can't even protect the people you're trying to protect while I am out here killing the strongest people in my universe. Your strongest people in the universe are losing to a minor demon, and you are currently in a, like, standoff against this demon who is barely like, compared to the things in the Bleach universe, Michael Jackson on the dance floor, you know?
Why do I keep getting pulled into
Take a shot.
these rap fights? Now one against a kid who surely can't even rap right. But if it's something that you want to take a chance on, I'll make sure you really don't have any legs to stand on. Guys, through with debating, just check the club I created.
Fucking crazy line. Crazy line. I'll make sure you really have any legs to stand on.
Well, my team was sweeping the nation. Your character's always been hated. It's true. If we take a look, you're successful.
You're just sitting pretty, only second to the pedo.
And here I thought that Natsuki's home was the most broken. Then enter Monica, like they see me rolling.
When I showed this to my friend for the first time, they told me to take this verse out because of that line right there. That one bar where she goes, "They see me rolling." And I was like, no, you don't understand. That's what makes this verse peak. That's the best thing in here.
The cover spin off, snap back for an adaptation. If I gently open the door, I wouldn't want you hanging out on a screen in my basement.
I will say, kind of an odd line. I do understand the reference point, but it's a little bit of a strange one to end it off there. But I think the middle, the meat of the verse is so good that it deserves a spot anyway. Monica kind of pops off every time she's in one of these, actually. Monica as a like character, might be the one featured as the verse holder more than anyone else, actually. Crazy battle. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this matchup? I don't know. All I know is that it's insane. It's so good. The presentation on this verse is crazy. I do believe it's Little Flex doing this, so fair enough. I expect nothing less. But this is a symbol monkey, okay? Look up at that lawn ornament. This video is so good too. I love this video. Great line, great line. I don't know, like the flow on this battle is so good. And like there's some actually really good bars here, just dissing the fucking garden gnome that the symbol monkey's up against. You have to understand how insane Freshly Canal is for making some of the battles he does. I do not know where he gets his ideas from or why he makes the ones he does, but I am so glad he does, because there is nowhere else on this platform where I'd be able to see this video. Why does this go so hard? Crazy flow right there. Obviously, good closing line. I think most in modern pop culture, the garden gnome is associated most with Doofenshmirtz. Maybe like Romeo and Juliet, but good way to close the line off. Naruto Zach Bray's second bar, second verse. If I made this nowadays, for the record, this one would have gone before the Nagato vs. Dream verse, because of just how well the Nagato vs. Dream verse is aged. I do like this verse a lot. I just think the other Nagato verse is better at this point. Of course, I think Gaming Plus makes better Danganronpa rap battles in general. Great flow here, though. I think I just really like ragey, like really like angry presentation in the bars.
So if you want to cross words, I drop or leave you torn up and split down the middle. So much for a shortcut.
Like it's very earwormy when it is just like the this like really powerful jutting vocal performance sort of tearing down the other person. It might not work all the time. It doesn't like it works well enough here. I don't think it's perfect or anything, but it's very catchy and does its job well enough where I really like this verse. Again, I do think the other Nagato verse works better nowadays, just in terms of the like social idea behind it and the pop culture and such. But it's still pretty good. It's still pretty damn good.
Do you think
this is a fantastic verse. Every time I watch this video, I go, why didn't I put this one higher? Stipendium does crazy work here.
Twice. Yes, they cut my balls off, but I still got bigger bullets
than a man combined. This is, of course, Dan Bull's like inclusion here is fantastic, but Stipendium, if you've listened to any of his music, you know the sort of flows he does, and he pops off here. This is such a good like rhyme scheme and just. The presentation of the vocals is so good here.
Time Rob of Lockley ventured to my hood and thought that his plot was better. I'll show this archer some honest intentions when I chop off his fingers like a vendetta.
Like, I'll be honest. When watching this, when originally watching this rap battle, I did not know who Guy Fawkes was. I was not educated in that regard. I knew V for Vendetta. I did not realize that was like his story. I basically watched this for Robin Hood, and also Stipendium was in the video, and I was like, hell yeah, let's do that. I got to this verse and I immediately knew it was going in this video because Stupendium popped the fuck off. It's not, I will say, it's not like, I guess it is. I guess it is. I was gonna say, like, it's less of a diss against Robin Hood and more like a diss against the story of Guy Fawkes itself. But it is a diss against Robin Hood. It is completely cracking down on him and being like, did you learn nothing from your own story? It's like I did so much more than you in my own story, taking the same general concept as what you wanted to do, but take it to another level. Meanwhile, you stopped at petty thievery, and eventually got caught and detained for it. You know, treated as a criminal. I was treated as a criminal, but fought to the bitter end. I was executed for my ideals. It's like Guy Fawkes just kind of like portrays his own story here, and it's like, yeah, we have pretty much a similar tale, except mine's way better than yours, and you didn't take it nearly as far as I did, and you were like weak for that. I love this. I love verses that sort of just tear down the other opponents, but also verses that just sound really, really good.
I've luckily ventured
to the eye and
thought that his plot was better. I'll show this archer some honest intentions when I chop off his fingers like V for Vendetta.
Don't even shower.
Save me the tears.
This battle is also one I know word for word, bar for bar, because I've listened to it so many times. That's what I get for being in the Danganronpa and the DDLC fandom.
It was why you wanted your back hurts so much, someone must have took out your spine. Your
Teletubby Club, you're the most unbearably clingy. I think Togo pops off here. When I'll let it play. Crazy final line. Obviously, incredible performance. Like the speed at which Genocider speaks in this is bar none one of the fastest verses in this video, I think. But it's also just very, very violent towards Toko, very violent towards Yuri, just breaking her down. I guess you take scissors to a paper fight, right? Yuri is a writer, a poet, and Genocider uses scissors as her weapon. It is just let me slice you open. You know, all your words, I can cut right through them, which is totally fair, and I think she presents this really, really well here. Obviously, the actual presentation is incredible. I think when I was first making this video, I thought this was going to be way higher up, like top 10, maybe even top 5, and as I was making it, I was listening to some of the verses again and realized I kind of prefer the Toko verse that's in this video. Or not Toko, the Yuri verse that's in this video. So I ended up putting it to the side, and eventually it got moved a little bit further down. But I still love this verse. I love this entire battle. I think it's probably one of the best fan-in rap battles on YouTube. You have to, I mean, there's definitely some spoilers and such here, but if you're into both of these shows, or both shows, the DLC's on a show, both these games, you'll get a kick out of this one. And I think that's a really good premise to have. A really good starting spot. Anime rap battles. This one between, this was Dio versus Shinobu, and then Alucard jumps in. But this was one of the first ever rap battles of the nerdcore scene I listened to, and it stuck with me forever, so I knew it was going to go on this list. And I was just pretty happy coming back to it and realizing, yeah, it's still really good.
Integra has gotten soft. These are my foes. Two bimbos who hide behind the shadows. We all know Dio here can't handle fire. Shinobu is used to losing to a fellow vampire.
When I first watched this video, I had not seen any of these anime, for the record. JoJo just wasn't up my alley. Monogatari was too massive, and Alucard just came out before my time. So I've gotten into them now, for the record, so I was able to understand a little better. But I was just straight up vibing to this without knowing anything going on.
God bless my gun, but he abandoned you. I was manlier than Dio during World War II. I devour Shinobu, but here's the fucking deal.
Unlike her master, I'm not into the kid's meal.
You fools think you can stand to the
might be one of the
Alucard?
best lines
Your
in this.
heads are better suited for Helsing's front yard. This washy whore would be useless in my army of souls. I gunned down Dio, but he's already riddled with plot holes. The Nightwalker has stomped on your coffin.
I don't know who voices this, who voices Alucard here, because ARB did not use like the very subset standard of the VAs that are in most of these videos, because this came out like far before the time of like this sort of medium blowing up in the nerdcore scene. So I don't think I recognize the voice actor for this, but whoever it is went crazy. They all kind of did. ARB does an incredible job at hiring actors that sound a lot like the characters, or at least can put on the performance matching the character.
Anderson, you will be fucked by trying to cross me. 'Tis a pity that both your bodies are not worth a single penny.
It's really strong here.
Are you kidding me? I'm up against this.
Finally a Rustage video where Rustage is the verse and not Connor. I've had some complaints about this one, I admit. A lot of people being like, oh, you chose Bakugo over Vegeta? And I'm like, no, I chose Bakugo's verse over Vegeta's verses, okay? I mean, I'm not super into Dragon Ball in the first place. I'm actually, if anything, I'm more into My Hero than I am into Dragon Ball. But I understand, like, comparing Vegeta to Bakugo is insane, and obviously would be a one-sided battle like no other. But in terms of a rap battle, Bakugo's verse goes kind of crazy here.
Like he knows all, but shivers in fear when the cold's cold. I'm not like Goku, there won't be no round two. Come on, dude, how's
I think that's a good thing to differentiate.
I'm bringing exposure, your big bang attack, it does nothing to phase me. I'm sick of your mooning and taking with feelings like you on the daily. You're looking crazy, your sanity's right at the brink. How can you even be calling yourself a prince when your whole race is extinct? I'll do more damage than Frieza did. I got the growth, you're needing it. He was just spotlight, I'm stealing it. Cry to yourself about how weak it is. I'm incredible, a spectacle, exceptional. Your name is right, cause I'll leave you nothing but a vegetable.
Crazy bar. I forgot it ended like that. I think Bakugo is just a very angry person. Most of this verse is just him yelling, being very very powerfully vocal about him just not liking Vegeta. It's less of a metaphorically tearing someone down and more of a I'm physically beating you down to your last particle, because I just don't like you, because it's Bakugo. What else is he going to do? I think they're like in that way, it's not like the best, like the smartest bars or anything. I think Rustage is an incredible writer, though. She still manages to do something here. But it is a lot of just Bakugo being like, I'm fucking taller than you, stronger than you, I can beat you to a pulp because everyone in your universe did, and I could easily destroy them. So it just very angrily screaming bar to bar at Vegeta here, and I think it fits his character really well, but it's also presented in a way that just works really well in a rap battle format, because Rustage is just really good at what he does, including presentation, because he is performing this really well.
Looking crazy, your sanity's right at the brink. How can you even be calling yourself a prince when your whole race is extinct?
Your whole race is extinct will come up in a different video on a different character entirely, and I think it's done a lot better there, but it's still kind of hard to be like, oh, you're the hero of your race? That's cool. Anyway, your entire race is dead, so like, what do you even have to protect? Why are you fighting?
When damage and Frieza did, I got the growth, you're needing it. He was just spotlight, I'm stealing it. Cry to yourself about how weak it is. I'm incredible, a spectacle, exceptional. Your name is right, cause I'll leave you nothing but a vegetable. Your mommy never tell you to
As we get into like the later end of this, most of these verses I've heard so many times. They're so good. Here, anyways, you know Gasai. This is good because it's Hanyu from Higurashi, which is a great series, going off on Lucy from Elfen Lied, which is a bad series. Skip TL writes crazy lines. Working at an angel more. The rhyme schemes in Skeep's rap battles are also so good. They're so, it's such a catchy sort of, it's a catchy beat, and the vocals bounce off it really well. Like this bar here where it's like, I didn't go to the Nakamisi, I could try the court, I see your experience working at an angel more. Like it's such a good rhyme scheme. It sounds so good. It kind of buries its way into my head, to be honest. This whole verse kind of does. I think Hanyu's performance here is really good. This part's fun. I think this part's really fun. One and he's Namizawa. I like the little sound effect at the end there. It's definitely, like, there's definitely a little bit of bias here because I just don't like Luffy from Elfen Lied, and I love Hanyu from Vigarashi, so it's like, yeah, get her ass. But I think it's done really well here. She kind of tears down Lucy at every aspect, and she can because Hanyu is basically like the god-ish version watching over a similar story to Lucy's with Sasuke and such. And they're both violent series, but I think Hanyu, there's powerful vocals here. It's presented really strongly, but she doesn't get super violent in her words. She gets violent in like complaining about how Lucy goes about things, and it's very, very in character for Hanyu. Like she's not afraid to be like, you're a monster, so am I, but what the fuck are you doing? Like, at least I have a reason for the things I'm doing. You're just sad and upset at the world. It's a very good closer to like sort of shift into this different flow, and just like close it out by being like, you don't belong here. Go back to where, like, go back to the lab you came from. There's only room for one god monster in this land, and you don't even fit that premise. Again, Yuri's verse, we're back to this battle. Yuri's verse was initially going to be before Toko's on this list, because when I think about the video, I think of Toko's first verse first, because it's so iconic with the flow and the rhyme scheme and everything, just the violence in Genocider's voice. But I think Toko kind of shifts that on its head and does a really good comeback to that verse here, to the point where I moved it ahead. I think another part was just that I was quoting this opening segment to myself for so long while editing this video, where I was like, actually, you know what, this is kind of an earworm. I actually really like this verse, so I ended up moving it up.
About an ugly hag who's fucking despised by her
Parents are class, everyone in her life. If you kill yourself now, nobody would cry. This is crazy. This is crazy. What a crazy sequence of lines. He went out this way to frame you, and then your picture remained in your battening playthrough, and then I was gonna frame you. It's such a crazy like combination of lines there. It's such a good flow, such a good verse. Freshie kind of popped off on that one. Like they obviously they they rhyme frame with frame, or frame you with frame you, but it's done really well.
eye for eyes, yapping about code when your reality show is a reality show. And I bet your count of kills mostly scars. You go carve a tally for your friendship with Komaru. I'm gently closing the door on your little love story. Try not to get too hung up on your rejection, Sayori.
Also a crazy closing line. Trying to get too hung up on your rejection, Sayori, because it's genocide of Shio. I think Yuri just has a, like, this is coming right after Toko's initial verse, and Toko's second verse on this is not very strong. It's a very quick verse that doesn't do much, and then the track ends very, very suddenly. So this was basically Toko's last shot to show off, and I think she did really, really well here. Basically breaking down less Genocider and more Toko, because that's the weakest link, obviously, and Genocider is part of Toko. By killing Toko, you kill Genocider, so on and so forth. So Yuri takes the more poetic route here and takes it down from the core rather than the outside.
It's a reality show. And I bet your count of kills mostly scars. You go carve a tally for your friendship with Komaru.
Because even that line is against Toko rather than Genocider. I bet your count of kills mostly scarred you. Go carve a friendship with your tally with Komaru. Like that's not towards Genocider. That is towards Toko. Her like fear of being found out for being this killer, being like her friendship with Komaru, which is severed at some point in the game because of her actions and her beliefs and her desire to be with Byakuya, so on and so forth. So like obviously very, very targeted toward Toko, even though she is actively fighting against Genocider at this point.
The door on your little love story. Try not to get too hung up on your rejection, Sayori.
Welcome to your
Perhaps the most iconic video to ever grace the internet, at least this corner of the internet. I think more people have seen the thumbnail to this video than the number of people who have ever clicked on Freshie Canal's YouTube channel.
final test. I'm Mr. Beast. We can scrap the S, cause I've never missed a beat.
And I think the verse is, I think it's just a crazy verse. This is Mr. Beast, by the way, against Squid Games.
Then check the gaming channel. Millions of children watch it. How'd you win all that one kid, but not custody of one kid?
Kind of a weird segment here. I really like the opening and the closing to this verse. This like a very small middle portion where it's like, check out the gaming channel, millions of kids watch it, but you couldn't own custody of one kid with all the won you won. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, millions of kids watch it, Jimmy gets a lot of money, so it's like, but you couldn't get a lot of money and save one kid. So it's kind of a turnaround on it, but it's a little awkward.
Kid, did you think you
but
get
it fits well enough where I'm happy to still include it this time.
But the rope is your daughter. So stupid saying we'll show you the light. You didn't go to SNU, that's right. If the task was less to get backstabbed by your pal, you wouldn't make it through the night. When I feast, I don't need a suit and tie. Rapping with gold like the food I try. Out of reward, then you will die. Save those subs for PewDiePie.
Save those subs for PewDiePie is another line that's like, what? But I think the best part, like the primary focus in a rap battle is to target the other person so carefully that you can tear them down, like word for word, bar for bar. And I think Mr. Beast's first verse here against Sung Gi-hun is really good at doing that. It basically targets all his weak points, which is, you know, all his friends, which betrayed him during the Squid Games, his daughter he wasn't able to win back, his dead mother, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, it's done really well without being like it's just forced down your throat. Like you're playing tug of war, but the rope is your ex. Did you really think you win your daughter back with that lighter you bought her? I'm like your mother, I'm dead sick. It's a really good just tear down, like mental blow against Gi-hun. And I think, a lot of people say Gi-hun's second verse or first verse in this is a lot better than this opening verse from Mr. Beast. I don't think so. I think this is an incredible start to a rap battle that like sort of sets it up immediately. It's definitely a good verse. I think Gi-hun's first verse is really good. I just don't think it beats this one as like an opener. I clicked the The bar? Okay.
We'll show you the light. You didn't go to SNU, that's right. If the task was less to get backstabbed by your pal, you wouldn't make it through the night. When a feast, I don't need a suit and tie. Rapping with gold at the food I try. Auto reward, then you will die. Save those subs for PewDiePie.
So this is the next suing for damages.
Past paper boy, a rap
Crazy.
tape, and I'm a stack.
This one was also very new when I made this video, and a lot of the reason I added this was because of the video that's about to play, but I also think the flow, once again, I think this was oh god, why can't I said his name earlier. He did the Symbol Monkey. Little Flex. I think it was him again on Paperboy here. But he does an incredible flow here, incredible job, and the video is insane.
All the taxpayers got my pad paid up. Couldn't calculate my cash take if you were Mad Damon. I bet you fearing me now, huh? Obituary.
I do like how he focuses on one at a time, sort of tears them down individually, so spending too much time unfocused.
You went from scores in the ring to the CGI abortion of the Scorpion King. How does it feel to be in every second movie? But every second of your movies is so fucking boring it stings. After I wreck the wrestler, I'll end.
The only issue with this video is it does not show off the other characters that he is against. But you can use context clues easily enough to figure out that it is The Rock and Edward Scissorhands. I didn't think about just writing it up here, but I thought it was a lot funnier to have Paperboy versus Rock and Scissors.
Dead on the cross street. Fuck your dead inventor, I'll finish the scar freak. You're so extra, I light them in sob scenes. Pick the best director to make you wider than broadsheets. Got those nervous ticks, clockwork in your muscles. You can't read the room.
The art in this video is so good. I don't know who did it, but they popped off. But yeah, Little Flex or whoever did the voice for Paperboy in this video went crazy here. I think this is a shorter rap battle. It's basically just one verse per each character in my memory. But God, he goes crazy here, and it's not super like powerful bars or anything. It is, you know, dissing The Rock for having bad movies, his career going down the drain, all that kind of stuff. And then Edward Scissorhands just being like having a weird, like crazy creator, being an emo, all that kind of stuff. It's very, very basic disses, but I think the actual presentation of it is good enough where it shines anyway. Oh.
I'm taking notes, you can't hear him too.
Once again, Lo-Fi Girl is here, and I think this is a crazy fucking verse. Watching this video and hearing this for the first time was insane, because I was like, sorry, Lo-Fi Girl?
Interference between him and the girl that you're missing.
Again, the other Lo-Fi verse should also be further up here, but
Feared you couldn't play like you once did. Fell from the pedestal that people put you on. No wonder you kept beating yourself up with such an abusive mom. Don't you get it, cause say it's your fate. Everyone that you love's being taken away. Couldn't find time with Rocky to play, cause you were too busy getting slapped in the face. Can see why you and Colony match. You're the brains to her brawn, cause the brains what she lacks.
Fucking insane, insane.
The joy that you felt was short-lived like her.
And you won the battle by saying that line. Now I know why you and Kaori match. You're the brains to her brawn because the brains what she lacks is fucking insane. That's not a verse you put in a song. That's crazy. That's wild. Who let you do that, sir? Rap battles. I'm sorry. Take a step back. It's such it throws you off so much that it just works so well. Because I mean, in rap battles you kind of want to like go as kind of hard against your opponent as possible, but a lot of these times it's more poking fun at the source material or character story or whatever. It's not very often, hey, by the way, your girlfriend's dead and it's your fault and you're a bitch, and also like you have a horrible home life. Like this is just the mental degradation game at this point. This is not this is mental warfare. It's so good. Better, shut her up and slit her. So don't take a sitter. I'd say she's way sicker. I love the opening bar to this one. This opening rhyme sequence. Shut her up and slit her. Just what makes her differ. I say she's way sicker. it's such an earworm. It's another one that I like sing to myself a lot, just because it's such a catchy little piece there. But I think it does so much in such a small amount of time, and then moves on to the actual diss.
All the liars and dirty people, all that I am is oh so evil. Love is very raised by this addict. Skeletons in your closet and I've got baggage and I really don't care who you think you are. You got candy with razors in your jar. What makes me different from you is that I only do what I have to do to fight for the love I know is right. And with how you treat your guy, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if Tayo and Yuki were alike. Healing is what I take.
There was a comment on this video. I don't think I'd be able to find it right now. But there's someone commented about a very good reference between Yuno and Sato here, where Sato kills for love, because she wants to protect the one she loves. She wants to protect the innocence of the one she loves. Yuno kills because she doesn't understand love. She thinks she has to do this to protect the love she has, rather than doing it to show off. Like, Yuno's story arc is more killing in order to kill so that she can have Yuki to herself. Sato kills because if anyone dares to taint her, dares to taint the one she loves, they deserve to be punished for it. You're stealing the innocence away from something she sees as pure and necessary for this world, like a beacon of good. So it's very easy for Sato to just tear down Yuno, because Yuno's morals and ideals are so opposite of Sato's, and Sato's are more not grounded in reality. Obviously, she still kills people for like she is still a yandere, but she has a more romantic focus on her story, while Yuno thinks she has a romantic focus on her story, when in turn it's not love at all. And Sato can easily use this against her to tear down the feeling she has for Yukiteru as being something false and placed into her mind as a means of having a reason to do what she does.
Carolyn! Are you done? Good. Now let's get down to business. Try not to blow up on the track like how your kids did. Oh, don't worry.
GLaDOS is in 2 of these videos and pops up both times, mostly because of the vocal performance.
This was a crash spot, my Scott has go sat watch as a class spot. Wanna comment that I have a trash pot? I can sever the sound at heading down the center. Leave a math off. Doesn't matter which breath thought is masterminding. Aperture is capping you. You have exactly 0 action in your vast class action suits. That's tragic. Your writing is bombing. Your DMS is calling on Junko's phone. I got the flowing for science. You monster. Your master's a masochist to the bone. Things aren't so black and white. Fighting mono a monokuma. Blast you to space with all the other obnoxious tunes.
I think the performance as GLaDOS here really sells it. Obviously, GLaDOS is just like a very mean character, so putting her in a rap battle just means she can kind of go off as much as she wants without breaking character, because she would just say this shit, right? She's a bit smart about it, you know, but she's not afraid to just be like, fuck you, you deserve death because of XYZ, I win because of ABC. It's a very straightforward character type, and I think it works really well in a rap battle scene. Because of that.
Your writing is bombing. Your DMS is calling on Junko's phone. I got the flowing.
I think it adds to the appeal that GLaDOS is such a monotone character.
Science, you monster. Your master's a masochist to the
There's
bone.
less
Things
emotion
aren't
here,
so
but
black
it
and white.
works so
Fighting
well
mono a
anyway.
monokuma.
No bad
Blast you to
apple.
space with all the other obnoxious tunes.
As a kid on Azarath, I stood up to Daddy's rap.
Okay, so we're back on the Raven versus Natsuki battle. I think Raven. I love Natsuki, for the record. I think Raven destroys her here. It's a very good comeback to Natsuki's previous verse here, where Natsuki is very much just angry and yelling at Raven about, you know, being emo, sort of being a shut-in, not having anyone that loves her, but not being super poignant with it. It's very just bar after bar of trying to get to Raven to shut up. And Raven just shuts her down here with a very good flow, first of all, but also just like you don't understand the things I did. You were trapped. You were stuck in a classroom while I was saving the world from my fucked father, and at least I landed a boyfriend.
Tragedy got sharper than a battle axe. I protect the planet that you turned into a habitat for trauma dumping onto any bachelor that happens past. That's why I can't relax. So forgive me if I'm not too thrilled to battle rap your kindergarten grammar ass. You want a book? I'll pass your sentence like I'm Judge Judy. At least I don't lose my head when I become moody. But you ain't that bara, you ain't buff Suki. You couldn't spit unless you dumped
flow
your
is
guts,
so
Kiki.
good.
It's not the romance you've been begging for, and I won't talk in metaphors. I only need 2 eyes to see your boy was getting bored. Since you write poems like the Raven tell you where your love was headed for, your relationship was just a game to him, nevermore.
Edgar Allan Poe, my beloved. It's a really good comeback against Natsuki here, where it's like, okay, sure, now shut up and let me say my thing. I'm the one that protects the world that use every day to just read manga and trauma dump on some random guy who it won't even love you in the end. Meanwhile, at least I have a boyfriend. I managed to, get Beast Boy at some point, and also, come on now. It's not even a challenge at this point. I think Raven and Natsuki is just a pretty funny combination to put together in the first place. But it did make for a really good VAR here, so I'll take it.
You're a bright one, light.
Here's Monica again, take another shot.
So you want a better world? Welcome to the club. But we won't share it if I'm trapped behind this barrier. Let's just say your failure is entirely in character. My fans aren't the degenerates, you'd better face it. You gently open the door to edgelords for generations. Your fans buy their Death Note replicas and look for names to put in, but the only thing they're killing are their chances with the woman. Fitting, cause their god keeps ruining his shot at getting made. The only time this kid's scoring love is a tennis game. Misa couldn't turn you on, but Elle gets you all psyched out. Our manga stays inside the closet, but it looks like
I really love Monica's mental teardown of Light here, considering Death Note is a very mental, psychological show. It's like
are red and violets are blue. A note of the dead is right in your view. A ghost on your bed, you find out the rules, then go for the pen and run in your room. The Tokyo feds and the finding the
obviously incredible flow here.
in spite of your youth, you're broken and dead for your crimes and induced with poetic justice signed by D. Take it from DDLC, full game plus CDLC. Well, Netflix deal DLC, you're not the DDLC. Not trying to hear more discussion about the gaudy word. 'Cause without Kita, you're nothing, just a moniker.
It's a very good ending too. It's a very good ending. Putting a spin on just Monica, and being like, if you don't have a Death Note, if you don't have Kira, then you're nothing. You are just a boy with a fucked sense of reality and your own ideals, which have become twisted and depraved. And if you didn't have this power, you'd be another loser on the streets screaming about the false prophets and the ideals you have, and that's basically she started saying that's what your fan base is, like edgelords for generations, people who just wants to be here but obviously don't have the power, and I totally get where it's coming from. I was around for 2011 Death Note era. Not super early Death Note or anything, but I was there for the revival of it. But absolutely, I love Monica's verse here. She tears down Light very quickly and then just has fun with it for the rest of it. Basically tears down Light as a person and then tears down Kira as a character. And I think that's very, very important, as Monica is a novelist, so she tears down the author and then tears down the stories that they have written, which is hitting every sore spot that they have, right? But it's just a really, really good conclusion to this. I guess is a good conclusion to this video. First of all, I think it ends the video really well, but I think it's also just a really good verse to start out this rap battle with Monica. Unfortunately, I think the Monica's second verse isn't incredible or anything here, but this first verse is insane. I think Eddie F. commented on this video and was first, by the way, because maybe I know Eddie commented on one of the videos. I'm just not sure if it was this one or another one. But yes, you get first. The other videos on this list aren't ordered necessarily. I randomized them and just put them together. So the most order they have is that they are all in the top 40. But that's the first one. That's basically the whole breakdown on this first video. Lots of good verses, I think. It's still my least favorite of the 3 videos. I think it is very biased. It's very poignant and filled with a lot of just very popular rap battles. But they're popular for a reason. You know, they're good rap battles with good verses, good performances. I just think I should have broadened my horizons a little bit while making this one, and that's what the other 2 videos are for. I much prefer the other 2 videos. I'm excited to look into those. I do think, however, that we are going to do that in another stream, because this took way longer than I thought it was going to take. It's been almost 2 hours, and this video was 30 minutes. So we are going to probably call it here. I have taken up the Mudcord page for too long. I will let some others have at it. But thank you for tuning in and listening to me ramble for way too long. I like yapping, if you couldn't tell. To anyone watching the VOD for any reason, hello and thank you. I hope you are having a good night, good morning, whatever time it may be. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, subscribe to Mudcord, because we love Mudcord here. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. I will be back to yap again later, I promise. Bye bye.